Hello humans, I'm Yoshiller and welcome to my vlog of Japan in 2024. This shall be my third time visiting the country, and as such it's my third time making a vlog in this style. And as has become a bit of a tradition with these vlogs, I like to include a bit of an introductory bit to explain who I am and what I plan to do on this vlog. But I also will include timestamps for your convenience in the description down below, in case you want to skip past this part and just get into the cool stuff. So this vlog is taking place in May of 2024/June, so I guess I'm going to call it either May-pan or June-pan. Or I guess you could do Japoon and Japay, whichever sounds better. When I went to Japan for the first time in 2020, it took place during the winter season. And then when I went to Japan again for the second time, it took place in 2022 during the summer season. Now I'm going to Japan for the third time during the spring season. And as you may have noticed, I have gone every 2 years. So I'd like to make a habit of this. So with any luck, the next time I go to Japan might be in the autumn of 2026. It's also worth pointing out that my living situation has changed in between each vlog. I've lived in a completely different location each time I've gone to Japan. So right now, I live in Seattle and I have my own little studio apartment here, and in about 5 hours, I'm gonna leave this apartment and head to the airport. Now, a little bit about myself. As I already stated at the beginning of this video, my name is Yoshiller. My real name is Bradley, but people online know me as Yoshiller because I like to wear a Yoshi hat whenever I go to events. Like so. However, in more recent years, I've also started wearing a blue Yoshi hat so that I may stand out from a crowd, because green Yoshi hats are now purchasable from Super Nintendo World, and as such, I would like to stand out in a crowd of fellow Yoshi hat wearers. However, for the sake of this vlog, I don't know how frequently I'll be wearing the Yoshi hats, if at all. So I also have a beanie on standby that's also fairly gaming themed, and I feel that this might be more appropriate for regular Japanese everyday use. A few other things have happened since I've gone to Japan last. I got myself a new phone, so hopefully the pictures I take will look extra crisp, and I'm actually using a brand new video camera. In fact, this introductory bit is the first thing I'm ever recording with this camera, so I'm using it as a test to make sure that the footage comes out okay, and to make sure that I can edit it properly. When I went to Japan for the first time, I went in January of 2020 because I was trying to go to EVO Japan. And then when I went to Japan for the second time in 2022, I went because I was trying to go to Bit Summit. This time, I don't really have an event lined up. I was trying to go at this time of year because I was trying to go to the Donkey Kong expansion to the Super Nintendo World theme park, because that was supposed to open up in April, but it got delayed. So now my plans are a bit more scrambled, so I don't really have super major plans. There is one thing that I do want to make sure that I do during this vlog, and if I'm including this clip in the introductory bit, that means I have successfully done it. So, when I went to Japan in 2022, I had the opportunity to visit a place called the 84 Cafe, which is an exclusive cafe. It's invite only for game developers and people that are part of the game industry. I went, it was awesome, and I'm hoping to go again. And this time while I'm there, I want to give the owner this. It's a gold Mario pin that I got from E3 2015. If you're familiar with me, you might have seen a picture of me floating around of a time when I was holding up a bunch of pins from that event. This is the very same pin. These days, it kind of just collects dust on my windowsill. And I totally just dropped it. It's still clean, it's okay. In any case, the owner of this cafe has a lot of collectible goodies in there, and if I can contribute in some way, that's really cool. Plus, I think he might have had some hand in designing this pin. Only a few hundred people actually own this pin. You can only get it from E3 2015. Nintendo severely underproduced it, and it was pretty hard to get even at that event. So I'm lucky to have one, but at least if I give it to this owner, I'll know where it is. I suppose there is one more thing that I should do before I end this introductory bit. You see, I am an active Pokemon Go player, and both the previous times I've been to Japan, I went ahead and put $20 into my Pokemon Go account so that I can upgrade my inventory space and bag space and just buy a bunch of items so I can really enjoy my time in Pokemon Go. Otherwise, I don't really put money into Pokemon Go. Whenever I go to Japan, that's like the most money I ever put into Pokemon Go. So, let's go ahead and continue on the tradition, huh? I'm gonna go to the shop, and I'm gonna put in some money! Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. It looks like I'm all set. If I just hit okay, am I okay? Should be. Boom, baby! We're gonna have a good time in Japan, if nothing else, with Pokemon Go. So, let's enjoy it. Let's see, what do I want to get right out the gate? So, Pokemon storage, of course. We're just gonna get a bunch of that. All right, there we go. Pokemon storage. I don't really have a phone capture device, so you're just gonna have to see me do it this way. There we go. All right, Pokemon storage again. Yes, please. There's a whole bunch of Pokemon storage. Bag storage, yes, of course. There we go. I might have put too many coins in, but better to have too much fun with the game than too little, right? I'm not spending an excessive amount of money. I'm just making sure that I have sufficient fun and sufficient funding with Pokemon Go. For now, I guess that does it then. Next time you see me, I'll be on my way to the airport or I'll actually be at the airport. We'll see. But for now, I have to finish packing because I have not even started. Alright, I made it through TSA. I am just moments away from my gate. We start boarding in about 15 minutes, which is perfect. And then that is a 2-hour flight from Seattle to San Francisco. Then I have a 2-hour layover, and then I board my flight to Japan, and that's like an 11 or 12-hour flight. Now, to pass the time, I do have my backpack here with me. That has my video camera in it. Right now, I'm just using my phone to vlog everything. But it also has my Nintendo Switch, and it has a notebook, so I can either play games or I can write video scripts or something. I did not bring headphones. That was a mistake on my part. Hopefully I won't need them. If I watch a movie or something, hopefully I'll have some subtitles. But otherwise, this is the start of my Japan 2024 journey. I am exhausted, but I'm also at the same point where I'm so tired that I'm awake again. I didn't sleep. I haven't slept. I just worked through the night. I'm at the airport. I'm kind of awake, and I'm hoping that I can just fall asleep on the plane. And if I can't fall asleep on this 2-hour flight, hopefully I can at least fall asleep on the 11-hour flight to Japan. All right, let's do this. I didn't have to wait long before I boarded my flight from Seattle to San Francisco, and I took Alaska Airlines. I was definitely comfortable in my window seat, but I didn't wind up falling asleep, nor did I wind up working on any video scripts. I was mostly just in a weird state of being half awake while I was in the air. But that worked out because before I knew it, I arrived in San Francisco, where I checked into the international terminal of the airport and prepared for my flight to Japan. All right, I made it through my flight. 2 hours, easy peasy. Now I'm at the San Francisco airport. I went back through TSA. I'm all good to go. My next flight's not for another hour. And upon arriving here, I realized I don't know the last time I've been to the San Francisco airport. It must be at least a decade. I come to San Francisco all the time. It's one of my favorite cities ever. But I never fly here. I always drive or I take a bus. So I haven't been inside this airport. I certainly haven't been in here for an international flight. So it's just kind of nice to see how different this airport is when compared to Los Angeles or Seattle. Anyway, now I've got the big flight coming up, and let me tell you, the best part about having not slept the night before is the fact that I keep dozing off, and every time I doze off, time just flies by. So hopefully I can just go on this next flight, completely doze off, and next thing I know, I'll be there. And if I don't doze off, well, I've got my notebook and my Nintendo Switch, so I'll have stuff to do. For now, I'll go get situated, and then with any luck, I'll be in Japan before I know it. I made it through my flight. The flight was actually very easy. I think I'm getting pretty good at doing these 7, 8, 10, 11, 12-hour flights because I felt fine the entire time. Although granted, right now, I do have a bit of a headache, but that might be due to the fact that I haven't really slept and I've eaten pretty much nothing but fruit for the past 12 hours. In any case though, right now I have my Suica card, so I'm actually able to leave this airport whenever I want, and that's basically what I'm about to do. Previously, I would meet up with a friend here at this airport and then we'd leave together so I could have a better understanding of where I'm going, but because this is not my first time in Japan and because I know a sufficient amount of Japanese and because I have my Suica card, I'm good to go. So I'm gonna figure out where I'm going and then I'm gonna go ahead and figure out what the rest of this vlog is gonna be. But right now, at least I'm comfortable here in the airport. I've been to this airport multiple times, so this whole lobby area here is nice and familiar to me. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna get riding on some subways and then I'm gonna go and meet up with some people. From there, I left the Haneda airport using Japan's massive subway system. I transferred from one subway to another as I eventually made my way toward downtown central Tokyo. Fortunately, I've navigated through Japan's subway system plenty of times during my previous trips, so I was definitely comfortable making my way from the airport on my own. Also, along the way, I saw advertisements for the recently released Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, known as Paper Mario RPG in Japan, so that was definitely fun to see as I entered the country. I eventually made my way toward the Roppongi Station district, where I checked into an Appa hotel. Now, I've never stayed in an Appa hotel on any of my previous Japan ventures, so I'll give a quick overview now. They are nice hotels, but the rooms are very small. But since I was just traveling by myself, I was definitely comfortable. And so this is where I'd wind up staying for the next couple of days while I'd map out my future Japan plans. Along the way, I met up with my friend Robert, better known as Cephazon, who helped guide me to my hotel room and greeted me with a few welcoming gifts. So folks, I'm actually gonna be staying in a hotel this time around. Normally I would stay with Cephazon here, by the way. I found Cephazon in Shibuya. I was supposed to meet you in Shinjuku. I messed up.
We got it figured out.
Okay, but I'm staying in a hotel this time around because Cephazon's in the process of moving, but that does mean that I'm allowed to vlog, so I don't have to stay in a corner the entire time. So I figured since Cephazon and I have found each other, we have a little bit of a gift exchange we're gonna do. So I'm gonna see if I can like prop my phone camera here, and then after this, hopefully I can vlog using my video camera and not just my phone all the time. So let me see. How's that? All right, then I can sit on the bed. And you know you're not really supposed to sit
I think
on
it's
it?
fine.
Okay.
I think it's your bed for the time being.
All right. I know people are going to comment saying, you're sitting on nice sheets. Okay. So, oh, sorry, your gift isn't even in here.
You got me yellow wafers. Well, let's take a look at yours first.
Yeah, so let's see what you got me. Kirby Cafe. It's always a good sign. It's something Kirby related. Oh my god.
Well, just rip it open.
Just rip it open?
Just
Okay.
rip it open.
Sorry, don't read it yet? Okay.
Yeah, don't look at anything. Just rip it open.
Sorry, if I had better upper arms, like... Okay,
It's plastic. You got it? And just take it out of that little bag looking thing too. Don't even look at the bag. Don't look at the bag. Don't look at the bag.
Okay.
Just there you go.
There's more inside?
Yeah, just take out. Just take this out.
Okay. Oh, yo. Okay, so you got me a pink thing, but it's not Kirby. It's my other man, Little Mac. Dancing like a fly, bite like a mosquito. This is official?
Yes.
That's
not really easy to come by. I'll explain when we're not on video.
Got it. No, I got it. I got it. Am I allowed to?
Yes, this is fine. This is fine.
Okay. All right. I mean, if there's anything you want me to edit out, edit
no,
it
that's
out.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, this is awesome. Thank you. Official Punch-Out merch. You know, I really love the Wii Punch-Out game. And Little Mac is my main in Smash Brothers. And when he was actually announced for Smash, I was super happy. So this is actually awesome to have official Punch-Out merch. Thank you. That's a very pleasant surprise. I'm assuming I can keep the bag as well, or do you need that back?
You can keep the bag.
Let's see. So for you, though, I'm afraid my gift to you isn't nearly as cool, but it is something I know you like.
Nice.
Sorry, I want to be your Yoshiller video without something awkward happening. First, I meet you at the wrong spot.
You got the wrong bag.
You got the wrong bag. I got you some goldfish.
That's one nice thing. Yes, thank you.
Here's your goldfish.
Oh, that's nice. I like that too.
Okay.
Now, if I only have 3 of them, that'd make my life complete.
Oh, thank goodness I have 3.
Oh, shoot. He got 3.
I mean, I could have done like a bit where...
This is all that I need in there.
I could have done a bit where it's like, you get 1 bag for every gift you give. So that one little thing of goldfish is worth this exclusive Nintendo jacket.
Yep.
Frankly, 3 isn't even worth that. Figure you probably can't buy those in Japan. Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, you can't get these in Japan. You can't get these outside the United States and Canada, I imagine.
Oh, I feel
British people don't know what these are. Germans don't know what these are. Japanese people certainly don't know what these are.
Because, you know, I've since moved to Seattle and I had no trouble.
Well, I'm gonna wash my hands.
Yeah, go. Yeah, go for it. Anyway, This is going to be a spontaneous trip where I'll kind of be figuring out what I'm going to be doing each day as I go along. But at least I was able to meet up with Cephazon. And already this trip is off to a different start because I'm staying in a hotel this time. I mean, we briefly stayed in hotels back in Kyoto and Osaka.
For Bit Summit. That was a bit different.
Yeah.
And Super Nintendo World.
And Super Nintendo World. So this isn't too different, but I mean, this is plenty comfortable for me. So, for now, oh, you're already digging straight into them, huh?
Oh.
Those are all yours.
Oh.
If I need more, I'll get them back in America. All right. Well, I got Punch-Out merch. Good morning, everybody. I am now awake on my first, actual full day here in Japan. I got a good night's sleep. This is actually quite a comfortable room. I know it seems pretty small, but since it's just me in here, I am more than comfortable. And now that I've got all my stuff situated, hopefully for the remainder of this vlog, I can use my video camera, at least for a majority of the time. I'll still use my phone, I'll still try to use my headset camera over here. But otherwise, now that I've got my video camera all charged and plugged in, and now that I was able to drop off some stuff, hopefully it's pretty smooth sailing from here on out. So I'm going to carry my video camera with me during those points of my vlog. And then today, right now, it's 8:45. I was actually up at 6, and then I was like, I'm still tired. I'm going to go back to sleep. So now I'm ready to get up. I'm going to walk around for a bit, and then Cephazon and I are going to meet up a little later. Our plans aren't really set in stone, but today was supposed to be a bit of a rest day anyway, because we didn't know how tired I was going to be flying into Japan, and we didn't know how tired I was going to be the following day. So today, I'm probably just going to stop by a convenience store, get some supplies, walk around, look at some of the parks for a little bit, might do a little shopping myself, and then I'm just going to kind of enjoy myself, relax today, no major plans. I'll walk around with my video camera though, so I'll see if I can film some of the parks and the cities and whatnot with my video camera for this next part. So I don't really know exactly what I'm doing today, but today was supposed to be a bit of a rest day anyway, so let's just go explore the city and see where the sights take us. So for my first full day in Japan, I decided to just wander around the locations near my hotel. I explored a few nearby parks and relaxation areas, and I continued my way through various alleyways and side streets until I ultimately decided to start making my way toward the Tokyo Tower. I figured since my day was fairly open and uncoordinated, now would be a good time to go explore the tower and its surrounding areas. And as far as quick tourist-focused activities and sites go, it was pretty enjoyable. The novelty of this site is that it was once the tallest building in Tokyo, standing at over 1,000 feet, until it was eventually beat out by the Sky Tree, which is another building that I explored back in 2022. Otherwise, the Tokyo Tower has two different viewing points, the main deck and the top deck, and I decided to explore both. I looked at the observation points on the main deck, and after about 30 minutes there, I proceeded to take an elevator ride all the way to the topmost floor, which was surrounded by mirrors and shards. Guests are welcome to look outside at any angle of the observation decks while atop the Tokyo Tower. The observation decks are square-shaped, so there's a north side, a south side, an east side, and a west side, so I just took a few minutes to explore each of the 4 available directions. There's also a miniature shrine located within the observation decks, and for guests that chose to access the topmost floor, team members provided little cups of lemonade. So that was a treat, and fortunately, since I had gone on a weekday, there were only a few other tourists there. So I was able to explore the top deck for a bit, and then after about another 30 minutes, I took it back down to the main deck, at which point I decided to take the stairs the remainder of the way down. And because I'm something of a maniac, I'm actually taking the stairs down. There's people taking the stairs up. So maybe I'm not completely insane, but I figure going down is a whole lot easier than going up, and there's an outdoor component to it, so I get good views while I'm going down. Otherwise, yeah, it was a nice little detour. I guess maybe not even a detour because I didn't have anything else planned for today. I figure that by the time you convert yen to dollars, the price to go up was only about $15, $16 anyway, so to me that's fine, that's worth it. I hung out there for a good hour or so. In any case, I'm going to continue walking down. I'm going to enjoy myself. I might vlog a little more on the way down, and then I'll figure out what else I'm doing today. I'll catch you guys in a bit. Once I was finished exploring the Tokyo Tower, I decided to head over to Tokyo Bay and visit the newly refurbished Pokemon Center location. This location's mascot is Ampharos, and I decided to take a few pictures and clips of the area. I didn't stay there too long, since I knew that I would ultimately be shopping at plenty of other Pokemon Center locations over the course of this trip. So once all of that was done, I decided to just wander around Shibuya for a bit. I grabbed a quick dinner, and once I was finished, I returned back to my hotel room so that I may rest and better prepare for the days to come. Oh, I'm tired. I'm tired. Come plop on the bed with me. Oh, the TV's automatically on. I can turn that off. Hold on, let me turn the lights on. Hang on. No. There we go. Alright. All I really did today was walk around a bunch, and I am very warm, and I am very sweaty, and I had no issue reaching... How many steps am I at? 21, or almost 22,000. So, yeah, I'm pretty tired. I don't really know what I'm going to do tomorrow either. My plans keep getting scrambled, so I don't even know what this vlog is going to be. Hopefully it's been entertaining. Hopefully the camera footage came out okay. There are still things that I can up and do at pretty much any time. But right now, I'm just kind of tired. So I'm just going to pass out and then I'll figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. I have a couple things on my mind. So depending on what anyone else is doing, I have other friends in the area, depending on what they're doing, that might change my plans a bit. But otherwise, I'm kind of just making this trip up as I go along, and as such, I'm kind of just making up the vlog as I go along. So I'm going to shower, and then I'm just going to pass out on this bed right here, and hopefully have a strong day tomorrow. We'll see what happens. For now, I'm really, like, the exhaustion has kicked in. I'm tired, so good night, everybody. Oh. Good morning, everybody. It is now May 31st, officially marking the beginning of day 2 of my time in Japan. Or I think this is day 2 because I think the day in which I arrived in Japan was day 0. So this is day 2. It's May 31st, and there are one of two different things I might do today. I'm either going to take, what do you call them, like a cable car ride or a gondola ride up to a mountain and look over Japan, or I'm going to go to Kanazawa because I've never been there before and they have a Pokemon Center there. And each Pokemon Center has exclusive merch, so I thought maybe I could make a day out of going to this Pokemon Center and then visiting the surrounding sites. So I'm going to do one of those two things. I'm not going to do them both today because both of them are extremely committal and take up a lot of time. And then other than that, I might do some like just general walking, general shopping around the area where I'm currently residing. I might walk around some more parks. I might, maybe I'll go to Shibuya or something. But for right now, I'm kind of playing it by ear. I don't know if I'm meeting up with anybody, but those are two things that I want to do. So maybe I'll do one of those two things today while I don't have any exact plans. So right now, I'm going to get out of bed. It's about 8:30 right now. I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to figure stuff out, and I will see you guys in a bit. Well, it's not as bright and sunshiny as it was yesterday. Makes me glad that I went to the Tokyo Tower yesterday instead of today. But still, because it's kind of cloudy and rainy, maybe going to the top of a mountain on a gondola isn't the greatest idea right now. So I might still go to Kanazawa to see if I can visit the Pokemon Center. Otherwise, with the rain in effect, it kind of makes me not want to go and look at any gardens or parks either. So I'll figure out something to do. Maybe I'll go to Akihabara, maybe right now I'm in Shibuya. Maybe I'll walk around Shibuya for a bit. But for now, let me play things by ear. I just wanted to give you an update on the weather. Less than ideal circumstances, but I'll make it work. Due to the cloudy and rainy weather, I decided to stay indoors for a bit and spend some time shopping within the Shibuya district. So I took up the opportunity to visit the Pokemon Tokyo store, which now contains the Pokemon Design Lab. This is a station exclusive to this store that allows guests to design a custom Pokemon shirt. The idea is that you choose from a select few presets, and then from there you can get to customizing. You can use any Pokemon that you want, but since Bayleef is my favorite Pokemon, I figured that I had an obligation to design a Bayleef themed shirt. However, only so many people can design a shirt at a time. time, as there were only so many stations available. So I was given a number. In fact, I was given good old number 1, and then I was told to return to the station once my number was called over the store speakers. At that point, I decided to wander the store for a bit, and I saw that the store had a jacket based on the Dolphin Pokemon Palafin. However, this store only had the jacket in a medium size, and I need a large size because I'm tall. As I contemplated the decision to buy one, my number was called over the loudspeakers, and so I got to the design lab and began designing my Bayleef shirt. At first, I had a bit of a scare, as I wasn't able to select Bayleef for my shirt design. But then I later realized that, depending on the shirt design setting, some Pokemon have more design options than others. Namely, if you select any Pokemon from the first generation, you'll have more customization options than those of later generations. Once I figured that out, I put together a black shirt with a Bayleef on it. You only have a limited time to design your shirt, as you want to make sure that other people online have their chance to design shirts as well, so I tried to be swift with my design. I made something that I thought was sufficient, and then I got approval from the designers around me. Once I was finished, I was told to return in an hour in order to pick up the shirt. During this hour-long delay, I went across the hallway from the Pokemon Tokyo store to the Nintendo Tokyo store. Now, I visited this store each time I visited Japan so far, but it's always fun to see how the store has been updated each time. When I last visited the store, which was in 2022, the games Splatoon 3, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder had not yet been released. So, plenty of merch for those games had been rotated into the store's catalog. Plus, a few other miscellaneous goodies had begun to occupy the store's shelves, so I tried to document any items that I hadn't seen previously. In the process, I wound up purchasing a few items, primarily clothing. I bought a black Legend of Zelda zip-up hoodie, and I purchased a Pikmin-themed dress shirt. Also, I made a brief mention of this earlier in this vlog, but I had been visiting Japan shortly after the release of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door for the Nintendo Switch, which is a remake of one of my all-time favorite video games. So, anytime that I saw an advertisement for the game, such as when I saw an ad on the subway earlier, I made sure to take a picture or capture some footage of all the promotional material. And in hindsight, I'm glad that I did so, as once I was preparing to leave Japan, the advertisements were slowly getting phased out in exchange for Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So it really worked out that I visited Japan when I did. And by the time I was done shopping there, it was time to pick up my Pokemon Design Lab shirt. So I ran back over to the Pokemon Tokyo store and I obtained my Bayleef shirt. I think it came out pretty well. Admittedly, it's a bit pricey, but you are paying for the convenience of having the shirt printed out the same day that you design it. Plus, the dollar is real strong compared to the yen right now, so this was the cheapest that it was gonna be. And on that topic, I figured that while I was in Japan, if there was anything that I wanted to do or anywhere that I wanted to go, now would be the time to do it, as it's unclear how long the yen will continue to be weak. So if I wanted to take a bullet train somewhere, or if I wanted to do something more exploratory, now would be the time to do it. So during my previous Japan trips, I had always contemplated giving Kanazawa a quick visit for the day. And since I needed something to do for today and it was rainy otherwise, I figured today would be the day to do so. However, the departure time for the next bullet train to Kanazawa was quickly approaching, so I ran on over to the train station to see if I could try and catch it in time. I made it with 2 minutes to spare. But yeah, I had to get all the way to the Tokyo station, buy my bullet train ticket, and then make it all the way to the loading platform on time. Even while waiting in line to buy my bullet train ticket, the clock was ticking and I was a little worried, but fortunately I was able to purchase my ticket and rush over to the proper terminal. I guess the idea of buying a ticket just 2 or 3 minutes before a bullet train departs is pretty commonplace in Japan. So hey, I'm just glad that it worked out for me. So I was able to board the bullet train to Kanazawa, and I was able to get a window seat both toward Kanazawa and back toward Tokyo, so I was able to record a bit of footage of the various cities, stations, and landscapes that I passed by. It was quite a pleasant ride, and the bullet train moves very quickly. Maybe it's because I've taken rides on bullet trains previously, but I didn't even notice the bullet train accelerating. We'd just leave a station, and next thing I knew, we were already at max speed, and I was definitely comfortable. Didn't even feel like I was going that fast. The ride was actually pretty long, as it spanned over 3 hours, but I was so relaxed and excited throughout the entire bullet train journey that it didn't even feel like 3 hours. But I felt the same way about my flight to Japan, so maybe I'm just getting more comfortable with longer trips. In any case, I soon arrived at the Kanazawa train station, and nearby it was the Pokemon Center store. I got really lucky. Right now I'm in front of the Kanazawa station. I got really lucky that I was able to come here. I had to run to the subway, and then I had to run to the Shinkansen, and then I only had like 2-3 minutes to spare.
and I made it. I'm actually able to do this today. Hopefully I'll be able to make it back okay as well, but at least now I can hang out here for an hour or two and then head back. Kind of a shame that I won't have enough time to do more things here, but that's kind of okay. As I understand it, this isn't really too big of a touristy area anyway. I really would just be here for the Pokemon Center regardless, so maybe only being here for an hour or two is fine. But yeah, I guess this would be the trip to do this type of thing too, because the yen to dollar conversion rate really favors the dollar right now. So paying for Shinkansen tickets is going to be as cheap as it's going to be. And also, this is my third time here, right? So now that I've done a lot of the things that I wanted to do in Japan already, it really does come down to, what else do I want to do? Well, I do want to go to Kanazawa to visit the Pokemon Center. And of course, it seems a little silly to spend all this money, go to a place for like an hour or two, and then go back. I just took a 3-hour train ride here. I'm going to hang out here for an hour, and then I'm going to take a 3-hour train ride back. But you know what? That's the Yoshiller way. And you know, I've done crazier things. So for now, let's enjoy it. Let's get some souvenirs, and then let's get ready for the train ride back. I'm glad it's working out so far, and I'm glad that it's at least still bright out by the time I got here.
This Pokemon Center store is located at the top floor of a mall, and its mascot is Milotic, which is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, and it's a Pokemon with which I have competitive history. So I made sure to get plenty of pictures and footage of this location, as I figured that I would most likely not visit this location again, since it's a bit out of the way. This location also has an exclusive Pikachu plush, which is a female Pikachu dressed in a kimono. So I purchased one of these plushes as a souvenir. And also, this location has a Palafin jacket in a large size, so I made sure to purchase one of those too. In fact, I almost missed it, as this Kanazawa store only has so much space, so some of the larger items only have cards on display. And then you're supposed to take those cards up to the register and then have a staff member retrieve the proper item for you. Fortunately, I was already able to see what the Palafin jacket looked like back at the Tokyo Pokemon Center earlier in the day. So when I saw that this store had a large size available, I capitalized on the opportunity to purchase one. So this and the Pikachu plush were my main souvenirs from this store. And hooray, I wound up buying more clothing. Anyway, after exploring the store a little more and some of the surrounding areas, I exited the mall and returned to the Kanazawa station, where I waited for my bullet train to depart. And this time, I didn't have to rush over to the loading platform. I had plenty of time. So, I was able to watch the sunset as I waited to depart back to Tokyo. Alright, successful mission! In just a moment, I'm gonna go ahead and munch down on some nuggets that I got from 7-Eleven, and then I'm gonna head back inside Kanazawa Station. But I wanted to start vlogging right now, one, to point out that I'm done shopping and that I'm just waiting for the Shinkansen, and two, I wanted to point out that it's absolutely beautiful right now. Like, it's sunset, the sky is nice with the clouds and everything, a nice orangish hue. And I'm sitting by this water and everyone's just relaxing, and it's great. So even though I was only here for like an hour and I basically just bought some merchandise, I've enjoyed myself. For now, I'm gonna enjoy myself, I'm gonna take a breather, and then I have a 3-hour ride home on another Shinkansen, and then I will promptly pass out in my bed, and then that might mark the end of my vlog for the day. So I'm gonna enjoy my nuggets, and I'm gonna enjoy whatever this is, this tropical blend. I don't know, but I like it. Okay, one more quick vlog. I don't know why chicken nuggets everywhere in Japan just taste so much better. I think it's because they're like tempura battered or something, but these are really good. If I ever get stuck in Japan and don't know where to go, I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven and just get myself some nuggets, because these are really, really good, especially for how cheap they are.
I really like them. This is like a top tier chicken nugget to me. It doesn't taste cheap either. It doesn't taste like, I don't know, for the lack of a better word, unhealthy. I really like it. It was like $2. So I'm gonna chow down and keep enjoying myself while that sunset goes in the background. But I wanted to point out, these nuggets are awesome. Oh my god. Okay. Let me set my stuff down. Golly. It's late. It's late. It's like midnight. Okay. But let this be a lesson learned, okay? Be spontaneous. Do things while you have the opportunity. Enjoy yourself. Because now that I went to this Pokemon Center, now I can say that I did it. I don't have to go anymore. So, huzzah, it's done. Okay, in a moment, I'm going to end this part of the vlog. I'm going to get up, I'm going to shower, I'm going to pass out, and then tomorrow morning is when I'm going to figure out what I'm doing, alright? So, cool, I rode a Shinkansen, bought some merch, and then rode a Shinkansen back, and then walked the streets of Tokyo at night, but I made it. I'm good. I'm comfortable. Oh, it feels good to lie down though. No issue getting 20,000 steps again either. Thank goodness the city is so walkable. All right. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I guess I didn't record an opening clip for today because I just got right into it. I was in a bit of a rush, but basically I decided to go on a gondola tour for the day. Even though this was my third time in Japan, I'd never actually done a tour like this, and I frequently saw advertisements showing travelers taking them up mountains. So I decided that today would be a good day to try out this type of tourist attraction. After doing some research, I learned that the best tour that I could take would be in a place known as the Hakone Ropeway. However, the primary problem was that in order to reach this location from Tokyo, I would need to take several methods of transportation. As a result, I had to catch each subway and train at precise times in order to arrive at Hakone Ropeway early enough in the day, and that meant that I had to leave first thing in the morning. So, to kick off the day, I had to reserve a seat on a train known as the Otakyu Romance Car, and I had to board it in Shinjuku. So, I took a subway to Shinjuku, purchased a romance car ticket online. It was a little confusing at first, but I figured it out, and then I boarded the romance car train. That ride was about an hour and a half long, and the views outside were gorgeous. Thankfully, it was a beautiful day out. And then I eventually arrived at my destination, which seemed like a train station that was somewhat in the middle of nowhere. That is to say, it was a popular station, but it was just far away enough from everything else because it was surrounded by trees and it was now in the mountains of Japan. So I waited there for a bit and then I had to board, well, I guess it's technically still called a subway, but this subway was completely above the ground. This train would bring me to the top of the mountains. However, this subway functioned a bit differently because the ride up the mountains was very steep. The announcer on the speakers explained that this train was a specially built train that was capable of climbing ramps that were steeper than most other trains could climb in the world. With that said, this train still had to climb mountains in a specific fashion. Instead of continuously climbing around a mountain by presumably going around it in a spiral-like shape, this train would instead reach one end of the mountain and then proceed to go back toward the other end of it, gradually climbing the mountain at small degree inclines and ultimately creating a zigzag shape. So that meant that it would frequently go forward and backward, which wound up leading to a pretty cool ride, as it was constantly high up and was surrounded by trees and wildlife. Once the train did reach its highest destination, all travelers would then have to take a cable car in order to actually reach the point of the mountain that contained the gondola ride. So we all squeezed into a cable car and went on a much steeper ride up the mountainside. Then we did reach the top, and we were now at the Hakone Ropeway tourist attraction, where I purchased a ticket for the gondola ride.
I'm up in the mountains right now because I'm getting ready to do, well, I guess you can't see it from here, but I'm getting ready to do a cable car ride, a rope ride. I just came along this track up here to even be able to get up here in the first place, and now that I'm at this nice little central hub of a platform, I'm getting ready to actually board a cable car that I think goes over a volcano. Even so, this view right here is awesome, and I'm so glad I chose to go today. The weather's so much nicer today. Look how clear and colorful everything is. It's awesome. And then also back over here, there's like a little foot spa. There's like a spa for your feet. You can wash your feet off and then just sit and relax and have a snack while you wait for your cable car ride. So I don't know how much I'm gonna be vlogging myself. Ultimately, I think most of my footage today is gonna come from this. I'll take some pictures and whatnot, but otherwise I would enjoy the views of the mountains here in Japan.
This ride would have me dangle from a rope and would take me across the side of a volcano and would eventually drop me off at the bottom of the other side of the mountain. And from there, I could just take a bus back to Shinjuku. And so, for the time being, I just enjoyed the day by appreciating the views of the Hakone Ropeway gondola ride.
Well, I'm at the top of a volcano. It definitely feels high up, like my ears popped on the way up here. And there's been construction going on, so I'm trying to record while the construction is not going on. And it definitely smells like sulfur. It does not smell great up here. But otherwise, it is a nice view, and it is quite comfortable. There's all sorts of gift shops and everything behind me as well. But the actual volcano is over where this smoke is. And that's where everyone's lining up and taking pictures and all that. So I'm gonna look around here, and then it looks like I have to catch another cable car down over there to actually get off the volcano and keep moving forward. So I'll figure it out as I go along, but for now, at least I got to ride a cable car, and at least I get to take in some of the cool sights that are up here. So get this, okay? I got off the gondola, I was just gonna catch the bus to take me back to Shinjuku, everything was gonna be perfect, and then the Suica card that I was gonna use to pay for my bus ride is 10 yen too short, 10. I don't have any more yen on me, and there's no ATMs here, so I have no way to recharge the Suica card. So I ran back inside to try and buy a bus ticket, and by the time I tried to buy a bus ticket, the bus had left, and they told me that the next bus wasn't for another hour and a half. So I told them I speak a little Japanese, Sikoshi Nihongo Anasemasu. And I explained to them, like, I was going back and forth, I was confused with the directions. I thought I could pay with my credit card on the bus. You can't, you can only pay with a credit card at the station. So I missed the bus and now I have to wait here for an hour and a half. But I got a ticket I'm okay. They gave me a window seat, which is very nice of them. So I'm all set. This is my ticket. And then they gave me Japanese green tea, which is nice of them. I'm not much of a tea drinker. I guess I'll try it. You know, it's Japanese green tea. Oi ocha, reduces body fat. I'll try it. Let's see. Here, how's that? Let's set that there for a second. Let's try this. Well, it's not my thing. That's okay. I do have something that is my thing. Water and orange juice, especially the orange juice. Okay. All right, well, I figured since I had some downtime, I went ahead and went to the little gift shop. And I bought myself, if I can get it out of this bag. Okay, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Let's just dump the bag out. Come on. It's getting caught in the handles. Let's see here. Yeah, so I just bought myself another zip-up hoodie. I think that makes like 5 zip-up hoodies that I bought on this trip, and I'm only like 3 days in. But I like my zip-up hoodies, as can be demonstrated by what I'm wearing today. And also what's funny is, as I was buying the item, I was like one of the last people online, and their system like crashed. So I just kept telling them like, Daijobu desu, Daijobu desu. Way to go. So, all right, now I'm just gonna wait for the bus. And so, I was eventually able to catch a bus back to Shinjuku, and that was another 2-hour ride or so. But I was plenty comfortable, the bus was about half full, and I got to look out the window at more gorgeous views along the way. By the time I arrived back in Shinjuku and deboarded the bus, it was about 8 or 9 o'clock, which was pretty late, so I just wound up grabbing more 7-Eleven chicken nuggets and returning to my hotel room. I was definitely tired from all the traveling, but despite the fact that I did miss my bus on the way home, I would call it a successful day all around. At that point, I decided to just take a shower, go to bed, sleep in a little bit, and have a more slow day to follow. So I realized that throughout most of this trip, I've spent most of my time on transportation. I took a plane getting over here, obviously, and then I've been taking a variety of different subways, I've been taking a variety of different cable cars, and I even took a gondola ride. So today, instead of spending most of my day inside of a machine, I'm gonna go ahead and walk around on foot, so I've chosen to go to Akihabara. And you can even see right behind me, that red building used to be the Sega building. I was fortunate enough to visit that building back in 2020 when it still was the Sega building, but sadly, Sega has sold their ownership of it. In any case, today's just gonna be an easygoing shopping kind of day. So let's go ahead and check it out. I don't know what this is, but it's only 100 yen, so I'm gonna buy it. If I can make a video out of it, then I get my money back, right? So whatever, let's go. Well, it's pouring rain now. Makes me glad I went on the gondola ride yesterday. The rain was now making it a bit more difficult to travel throughout Akihabara, so my friends and I decided that it was now time to grab some lunch. And that was with Sephazon, who insisted that I try at least one type of sushi roll while I was in Japan. So we went to a small restaurant at the top of a shopping area where guests could order food on a tablet, and I wound up trying a salmon sushi roll for the first time. Alright, so
You can sort of take the lemon off if you want. I mean, it's just kind of there.
I mean, lemon flavoring is usually fine.
Yeah.
If I can take it. Sorry, let me relearn how to use chopsticks real quick.
He's left-handed.
I know. No one. I had to like teach myself. Okay.
All right.
Just like pick it up and take a bite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either this is going to be delicious or he's handing it to me in 5 seconds.
Where do I stand on this? I will take another bite.
Okay.
I'll finish it. I don't think I'd have it again.
Fair enough. But you don't hate it.
I don't hate it now. That's a good thing I have some French fries. So I'm sorry, potato wedges.
To wash it down. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
That'll be it.
We didn't spend too much more time in Akihabara after lunch. We maybe looked around 1 or 2 more stores before we decided to head back for the night, and ultimately it just wound up being a much lighter day compared to my previous days so far. But that wasn't a bad thing. It was just meant to be a simple shopping day in Akihabara, and the fact that it poured heavy rain throughout the day wasn't really too big of a damper on our plans anyway. Toward the end of our shopping excursion, Sefazan and I went to grab some gyukatsu, which is something that I've done with him each time I visited Japan, so it seemed somewhat obligatory to do so during this trip at least once. So we figured that it may as well be today. And as usual, I enjoyed it. And after the gyukatsu, he and I split up and I just returned to my hotel room so that I may rest up for the days ahead. Alright, day's over. I kind of just want to like wag on my hair like a dog. Alright, it's still raining outside. It's not pouring as much as it was earlier, but it is raining outside. Otherwise, yeah, kind of a slower day. Just a day around Akihabara. But I think I needed a slower day because past few days I've been constantly on the move, and then the next few days I'll probably be constantly on the move. So having a day where I just kind of go back to Akihabara and do a little window shopping, it's fine with me. Alright, well, I'm gonna change clothes because everything here is still like soaking wet, especially my socks. Oh, I hate having wet socks. Okay, I'm gonna pass out and then we'll see what types of fun or challenges tomorrow will bring. Thanks, everybody. As you can see, it's a much nicer day today, so I figured I would go ahead and go on another adventure. So today, I've gone ahead to the Mishima Skywalk. This is a tourist attraction that is a giant suspension bridge, I think the tallest in all of Japan, if not the tallest, then the second tallest, and it does sway back and forth, which results in kind of a fun, somewhat chaotic experience. I saw an advertisement for it just the other day when I was going on the gondola ride, so I figured, yeah, when there's another nice day out, I'll go do it. And as such, there is another nice day, so I figured I'd go ahead and try it out. At the other end of the bridge, there is a zip line, so I'm gonna see if I can do that as well. And I've got this, so I can hopefully record my walk along the bridge and record the zip line afterward. So let's go check out the Mishima Skywalk. So in a similar vein to when I traveled to the Hakone Ropeway a couple days ago, I had to take multiple methods of transportation in order to reach the Mishima Skywalk. And also, I just wanted to mention, these buses aren't really made for someone of my height. I'm much too tall for some of these seats, and I really had to scrunch in at times, but I made do with the circumstances. And yeah, as I mentioned in that previous clip, I only knew about this place and decided to visit it because I saw an advertisement while waiting for the mountain climbing subway once I departed the Odaki Romance car. While waiting at that train station that I previously mentioned felt like it was in the middle of nowhere, I saw a flyer that suggested that travelers could go to a high-up suspension bridge in the mountains of Mishima. So I figured, what the hey, I'll go do that. I needed something to do for the day anyway. So after taking a subway, to a bullet train, to a bus, to the mountains, I finally arrived at the Mishima Skywalk. It is a tourist attraction. It is made for travelers to walk along and take photos. The bridge does shake and sway slightly, and it is narrow enough to where you're really supposed to stay to the left-hand side as you walk across it in either direction, but it does provide a fantastic vantage point for taking photos and videos at all angles. And fortunately, all of the other attendees were nice and helped me take these photos and videos. All in all, I really just appreciated the sights and took in the views. It was great. And now, this is the part of the vlog where I'll showcase a bit of what I saw. At the other end of the Mishima Skywalk is a rest area with photo ops, other fun activities, and ice cream. This is where attendees, such as myself, could sign up to go ziplining. In order to participate, I had to fill out a form, buy a pair of gloves, but they were cheap so it wasn't that big of a hindrance, buy a ticket, and store my belongings inside of a coin locker. I did still take my phone and headset camera with me so that I could record the actual activity for my vlog, and I did so at my own discretion. I was advised to store my items away, but guests were still allowed to bring a camera if they so desired. I decided to take the risk, and if I lost my camera, well, then that was on me. And that's partially why, up to this point, I had been recording videos on different camera devices for this vlog. That way, if I lost one or if something happened to one of them, I would still have sufficient footage to provide enough context for what I did during this trip. Hopefully. But fortunately, I didn't lose any of my cameras, and I was able to record myself jumping off of a cliff and ziplining alongside the suspension bridge. Camera. ありがとう。
思い出したら言ってください。キャーラポイントですよ。じゃあ座ります、座ります。腰掛ける。いきます。3、2、1、ゴー。
Yeah.
3、2、1、ゴー。
Yeah.
Okay, count down.
Okay.
はい、それではいきます。3、2、1、ゴーいってらっしゃい。
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, count down.
Okay.
はい、それではいきます。3、2、1、ゴーいってらっしゃい。
Thank you. That was pretty cool. Hope the footage came out okay. I can't really tell while I'm going down, but I had fun. I guess that's what mainly matters, right? And hopefully you'll just have to take my word for it. I can't even remember the last time I went ziplining. Oh, I think there's viewpoints here. Very cool. Okay, I think I'm supposed to go back, but there is a vantage point here in case I want to take pictures. Yeah, I kind of do. Let me see. That's where I went. That's where I went. So I figure while I walk up this hill, I may as well vlog once more. I just got done with the Mishima Skywalk. You can kind of see the top of it over there. Now I'm walking over to my next destination. And that next destination is a place called Dragon Castle, another place I saw an advertisement for. It was described as a jungle gym for adults. And I know in at least a couple of my videos in the past, I said something to the effect of, I wish they made jungle gyms for adults. Well, Japan has that, and it's nearby the Mishima Skywalk, so I figured I'd go ahead and give it a visit, but I have to walk there. And I gotta walk uphill. Now the good news is, it's actually not that hot today. I'm like sweaty. It's definitely warm out, but it's not hot. You know, like I've been here in the summer and I was dying. But right now, I feel okay. Like it is a beautiful day. I am so happy with how the weather has been today. It's been perfect. So I just gotta walk about a half mile uphill to get to this Dragon Castle. And then I'll see what this obstacle course jungle gym for adults is all about. And hopefully I can still wear this while I do that jungle gym as well. But yeah, so far, Mishima Skywalk, cool. Zip lining, fun. This walk, not too terrible. And Dragon Castle, hopefully awesome. All right, well, I just got done with the Dragon Castle and I was not allowed to film it. And I was afraid of that, but it's their rules, and to be fair, they were right. I tried to wear my little video camera in my green little pouch. They said no. They said no to my headset camera. I couldn't keep anything in my pockets. I had to put everything in a locker. And they were right, because there were parts where I was twisting and turning, and at any point I could have fallen over and everything would have easily fallen out. I wish I could have gotten some pictures. I wish I could have gotten some footage. But you know, I guess not everything has to be for the vlog. You know, I'm trying to document whatever I can, but at this point, I just did the Dragon Castle because I wanted to do it. I did it for me, and I enjoyed it. A little pricey, and you know, that's kind of one of the downsides of going by myself, is I don't have a friend that's able to film me or take pictures of me, because there is an area down at the bottom where you can have someone go around and take pictures if they don't want to do the castle themselves. But it was nice. I'm exhausted, in case you couldn't tell. A lot of upper arm strength activities, and because I'm so tall, I kind of cheesed one or two of the obstacles. And there was one where I was supposed to ride a bike, and I was much too big for the bike, so I just kind of went like and like pushed it forward manually. So that's okay. But yeah, I enjoyed myself. I am tired. I gotta walk back to the Skywalk station. Thank goodness the walk back is downhill. But yeah, now I can say I did it. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would do it again just because it's so out of the way, but it was nice to have done it. Like, I don't regret coming up here and doing it. I had a good time. I just wish I could have gotten some footage, but they were right. It was for my own safety, and I'm safe. I'm good. It was a good workout. I'm gonna sleep well tonight. From there, I made my way back from the Dragon Castle over to the bus stop at Mishima Skywalk, and I boarded my bus back to the Mishima station so that I may take a bullet train back to Tokyo. I was also so tired that I just stopped by a Starbucks and grabbed a Belgian waffle and a hot dog to act as my dinner. All in all, it was definitely a fun and thrilling day, albeit an exhausting one. In fact, I can't really stress enough how much I enjoyed myself. For something that I decided to do as a spur-of-the-moment activity simply because I saw an advertisement and a flyer, this turned out to be quite an amazing experience, and it'll certainly be one that I remember for years to come. I would strongly encourage anyone interested in visiting Japan to check out Mishima Skywalk, as long as you're not afraid of heights. And, as I mentioned a few times throughout this vlog, things may have otherwise been a bit pricey. But, since currency is now heavily in the dollar's favor, this turned out to be a prime time for me to do something as crazy and outgoing as ziplining. The amount of transportation that I had to pay for and take in order to access the Mishima Skywalk was totally worth it after converting the yen to the dollar. And I'm glad that I didn't lose any of my cameras along the way. I mean, yeah, I wish I could have recorded myself more at the Dragon Castle, but I'll take my losses where I can. At least I get to showcase all of the other footage that I've recorded throughout the day. And at least I had a pleasant and fun experience there too, regardless of whether or not I was able to actually capture it in footage. I really did enjoy myself, and I'm super glad that everything worked out for me. Eventually, I did arrive back at my hotel, where I proceeded to take a shower and plop onto my bed. I didn't really know what I'd be doing for the following day, but for the time being, it didn't really matter. I had no interest in getting up early and taking a bunch of methods of transportation again. I was just so worn out, and I just needed some sleep. I just wanted to show this clip because I still think trains, both real and toy variations, are really cool. Anyway, after the intensity of yesterday, I decided to take a bit of a rest day. I didn't make any significant plans, and I decided that if I were to do anything, then I wouldn't go very far. But it was a nice day out, and rather than spend the entirety of my day cooped up within or nearby my hotel room, I decided that perhaps today would be a good day to at least visit the Tokyo Dome Park. I hadn't visited this location since my first visit to Japan back in 2020. However, when I went here for the first time, I only rode the Ferris wheel. This time, I rode the roller coaster, known as the Thunder Dolphin. Now, I couldn't record myself while I was actually on the roller coaster, but I did take a picture of my entry ticket, and I took a picture of myself right in front of the boarding area. Oh, and I recorded this little clip as soon as I got off the ride, too. Alright, so I just got done with the Thunder Dolphin roller coaster. I wasn't able to film myself while I was on it, but my hair is all messed up, so hopefully you'll believe that I was actually on it. It was a fun roller coaster, definitely a lot of verticality on it, so there wasn't much I could do with the way of filming anyway. But otherwise, I was kind of tired right as I showed up the Tokyo Dome. I did the roller coaster, and now I'm like really tired, so I might just go back to my hotel room for the day. But otherwise, at least I can say that I did it. I wanted to do it. I've done it now. I've done the Ferris wheel before. Now I've done the roller coaster. All in all, good stuff. But yeah, I think today was meant to be a slower day anyway. I'm still exhausted from yesterday, so at least I went out and did something, capitalized on the fact that I'm still in Tokyo. But now I really gotta go home and rest. And hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow because I've got major plans coming up tomorrow, I think. We'll see, we'll play it by ear. This has been a very spontaneous trip, so anything could change at any moment. So, at least I did something for the day. But after I was done with the Thunder Dolphin coaster, I opted to leave the Tokyo Dome Park and return to my hotel room to rest up some more. Yeah, I know it ultimately seems like a bit of a lackluster day, but at least I went out for a bit, at least I did something that I'd never done previously, and at least I had a chance to rest up. Sometimes you just need a rest day amongst all the chaos and spontaneity, you know? In any case, I spent most of the day back at my hotel room so that I could relax some more, as the upcoming days wouldn't provide much of a chance for me to rest. Oh. Looks like it's gonna be nice today, which is a relief. Glad I came here in the spring. Good morning, folks. I feel a little more rested. Let me go ahead and turn this off. I'm check it out of this hotel. I am going to other cities and I am staying in other places, so it's been nice staying in this little hotel while it's lasted. You know, it's been a nice little cozy space for me. I don't know if it would have been comfortable had I had other guests staying in here with me, but as far as just me is concerned, I've been good. So now it's time for me to pack up my stuff and get ready to board a Shinkansen, because this time, instead of just taking a Shinkansen to one temporary place, I'm going to this place and I'm staying there for a couple nights. So I bought a lot of stuff. I'll do my best. I tried packing it up last night, but I'll do my best to try and compact it from here. Alright, I guess I better get out of bed, huh? Alright, hotel room. You have served me well. You have made me comfortable for the past couple of days, and I appreciate it. But now, all good things must come to an end. It's time for me to check on out of here, so let's get to it.
It was now time for me to head to Osaka. In order to do so, I had to catch a bullet train at Tokyo Station first thing in the morning, and this time I traveled alongside Sephazon, as we would be sharing a hotel room together once we reached our destination. After riding on the bullet train for a few hours, we arrived at Osaka Station, and I had to remind myself that people line up on the right side of escalators in Osaka, in contrast to other cities in Japan where people line up on the left. Regardless, I was able to store my luggage elsewhere, and Sephazon and I temporarily parted ways for the day. So, I was free to wander the city for a bit, and as such, I took up the opportunity to visit the Nintendo Osaka store and the two different Pokemon Center locations. One Pokemon Center store was located just beside the Nintendo Osaka store, both of which were located at the top floor of a large shopping area. The other Pokemon Center was located further away at the top floor of a completely separate building closer to downtown. And it's worth noting that I had visited this location previously. Additionally, both Pokemon Center stores had just started selling merchandise to promote some sort of bug collection event, so they had all sorts of clothing and goodies based on bug-type Pokemon. I didn't wind up purchasing any of these items, especially since I had already purchased enough Pokemon merchandise up to this point anyway, but hey, it was kinda neat to see. Overall, I had an enjoyable experience visiting the Nintendo Osaka store and the two Pokemon Center stores, and it was also just nice to be able to explore Osaka for a bit.
Well, Sephazon, you picked a good one.
I picked one. I have my preferences.
Well,
It's alright. And it's right in front of the park. I mean, you can't really do worse than being in front of the park.
you're right. I went the wrong way. I was like, whoa, it really is right here. Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you want to take it? You want to show me? Okay.
Whatever.
Well, thank you nonetheless.
Thank you.
Thank me for what? Showing up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been very awkward if I would have just had all your stuff here by myself.
That would be awkward.
That's the wrong one.
Now that's awkward. Okay. Hey, it's a nice colorful hotel. I like it.
It's green. I got your favorite color.
Did you choose that or did it just happen to be
Yes.
that? Yeah, you did?
Green.
Okay.
You better like it.
Thank you.
I put a lot of effort into getting it to be green.
Which bed did you want? Do you want the one closer to the
The one
bathroom?
that I just threw the stuff on.
Alrighty. So, put that there.
He's already been on an adventure. You know they sell Tanuki hats now.
I did take a quick peek inside the store. Alright, and let's look at our view, huh?
I guess. I didn't really look. It was too bright.
Oh, that's bright. Alright, well, you can kind of see City Walk. But that's okay. Cool? Well, it seems cozy, thank you. Alright. Cool. So,
Oh my god.
I'm a little tired. I didn't buy much. I just bought the little Nintendo Osaka t-shirt, the gray one. I don't really need anything else. I went to both Pokemon centers.
Uh-huh.
Didn't buy anything.
You do you. It's your money.
Anything else I should know before I wrap up today's
There is
vlog?
a piranha in the bathroom.
There is? Oh yeah, let me look at the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I probably should take my shoes off, huh? I'm sorry. I forgot.
Oh my god, piranha!
You got me.
That was a stupid bit.
Oh, this is...
Of all the bits I've had,
Well, you got it on camera at least. Alright, this is a much nicer bathroom than the one I had previously. Yeah, this is nice.
Alright.
This'll do quite nicely.
I mean, we're not going to be here most of the time, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. But as far as ending the day goes, it's comfortable.
I am just about done, so.
Alright, you want to go grab food? Or you
I
want me?
want to take a nap, like an hour nap.
Okay.
I'll explain my
Yeah,
plan
it's,
for this.
okay, so I'm probably done vlogging for today. I walked around Osaka for a bit. It's pretty cool. We'll see what
a little
tomorrow
warm,
brings.
but sure.
It's a little warm. Yeah, you know, I might actually take my beanie off. And this is the part where I have to end the vlog because I'm about to undress myself. Alright, see you guys tomorrow. After checking into the hotel room, which was a very nice hotel room in case it wasn't already obvious, I grabbed some dinner at City Walk at my favorite restaurant in Japan, Bikuri Donkey. I mean, it's otherwise just a basic family restaurant, but I love it. I first ate at this restaurant back in 2022 when I stayed in Kyoto, and the idea is that this place serves hamburger meat patties with just about whatever you want on the side. It turns out that there is a location at Universal City Walk that I'd never eaten at before, since I only knew about the Kyoto location. So, once I learned this news, I knew that I absolutely had to have dinner at this Osaka location. So, I got myself a hamburger patty with some sliced steak, which in Japanese terms means that I ordered a steak with steak. But I was craving it, and it did not disappoint. It was just as good as I had remembered. And that's about the most you're gonna get out of me talking about food. Anyway, following dinner, I returned back to the hotel and met up with Sefazan once again. And we both went to sleep in preparation of getting up decently early for the following day, as the two of us had plans to attend the nearby theme park of Universal Studios Japan and its internal area of Super Nintendo World. Good morning, everybody. Oh, there it goes. Thanks for turning the lights on, Seth. Oh, God. That's how we do it around here. Actually, more humorously, we have to be there at, what time, 8 o'clock? And our hotel is right near the park, so Seth and I joke saying, we can get up at like 7:50 and we'll make it on time. So it's, it's like 7:40 right now. So I'm gonna get dressed. Oh, by the way, I didn't show this. They gave us little, like, pajama outfits. So it's actually quite nice. So I put that on after I took a shower last night. Okay. Here, hang tight right here for just a moment while I put my glasses on. Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Alright. I'm ready for a fun day at Universal Studios.
Now, I've done this park before, and I've done the Hollywood Park multiple times already. However, I've never really done much outside of Super Nintendo World here, and I have yet to see like what most of the other rides are, because last time I was here I did Super Nintendo World, and then we kind of had to leave. So I'm kind of hoping I can check out the rest of the park, but if not, I'm fine spending the day at Super Nintendo World. But I did not bring my power-up band, because I didn't actually know I was going to go to Super Nintendo World this time around, and I thought I was going to do the Donkey Kong Park, and I was going to get a Donkey Kong band. But that's okay. I don't need the power-up band. I'll just kind of waltz around, see what happens. But you know what I did bring? You know what I did bring? I brought my blue Yoshi hat, because we are in the blue era, folks. All right, I'm going to get dressed, and then I'm going to get ready for a fun day at Universal. Japanese word for hat is boshi. This is my Yoshi Boshi, which is especially fitting because Boshi is a blue Yoshi. So this is my Boshi Boshi.
I'm deleting this video.
This is just a Yoshi Boshi. So I'm an adult, I make adult money, I work hard, I figured that means I'm allowed to buy what I want. And as an adult, I can make my own decisions. So if I want Yoshi underwear, then I'm buying Yoshi underwear. It's all, I mean, this is gonna be muted. This is just B-roll. he gonna get all stars? Oh, I hope he gets this. I hope he gets this. So, here's a quick story. While visiting Universal Studios Japan and Super Nintendo World, I was with the development team of Newfangled Games, and we went on various rides together. The first ride of the day that we did was the roller coaster known as Hollywood Dream. This is a large-scale roller coaster that winds around the theme park, and I was unable to ride it last time that I visited Japan, so I wanted to make sure that I rode it this time. When we all went toward the line, we saw that there were two different ways we could line up, the left side and the right side. I had misinterpreted the lines as one for single riders and one for group riders, so I got us in the line that I thought was for group riders. Well, it was certainly for group riders, but as it turns out, this roller coaster can allow for its riders to go forward or backwards, and I mistakenly put our group in the backwards line. And we were uncertain as to which line we were actually in until it was actually time to hop on the ride. All the way up until we lined up right in front of the gates, all the previous cars were facing forward. So we thought, oh, we're probably okay, we're probably just gonna face forward. Then, the next car that came in was facing backward, and then we just had to hop on. So we rolled the whole roller coaster backward. But since this was my first time ever riding this roller coaster at all, I thought maybe this would be more fun, as I'd have no idea what to expect at all. Absolutely everything would be a surprise. And sure enough, it was a blast. So I just got off the Universal Hollywood Dream. Apparently there's a chance that you can line up for the backdrop, which is a variation of the ride where you go backwards. And the entire time we were waiting in line not knowing whether or not we were in the backdrop or the regular line until the very end, like right when we got on, it was revealed, oh, we're going on backwards. But you know what, that's more fun because I've never done this ride before, so I have no idea what's gonna happen at any point. So we can just fall backwards at any point. More fun that way. But yeah, first time riding it, went on backwards, didn't know, made for a better experience. All in all, it was a great time. In a similar vein, there was another large-scale roller coaster over in the Jurassic Park area known as the Flying Dinosaur. It's one of those roller coasters in which its riders are tilted forward at an angle and are hanging throughout the duration of the ride. So I rode this one too, and let me tell you, after all the twists and turns and loops, I can safely say that this ride was amazing and that I also had a blast on this one. That's the best ride in the park. That was great. They're like inverted loops and twists and turns and parts where you're upside down, but technically you're on your back, so it doesn't feel like you're upside down. It was great. It was great. I'm like dizzy, but it's a good dizzy. It's like that adrenaline dizzy. All right. Glad I did it. The Flying Dinosaur. That's a win. That's a win. I'd recommend it strongly. And so, the day eventually came to a close. I had a fun time at Universal Studios Japan and Super Nintendo World, but it was now time to leave. I returned to my hotel room to conclude the night, as it would be the last night that I would spend in Osaka. Tomorrow, it would be time for me to head off and visit Kyoto. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna get...
Oh yeah, that's the penguin.
I'm gonna...
Charizard, use grass leaf.
Ready to leave Osaka. It's been nice. I like these Japanese hotel rooms where you just get like the two isolated beds that are like very close to each other. I just like it. I don't know. I bet. Okay. Osaka's been fun, but I gotta take a Shinkansen out of here. Alright. Seth, are you ready? You know, it's only fair. You did this to me yesterday. There you go. Alright.
Joke's on you, I was already under this.
Alright. Well, I'm opening the window. Or the curtains, anyway. Alright. Yeah. Well, hotel room, you've served us well. Thank you.
And goodbye.
And goodbye. I gotta do a whole day of Japan now. And it's been nice wearing these little comfort clothes, but I gotta get dressed out of these too. And I'm not showing that in the vlog. Alright, catch you guys in a bit. And so, it was time to leave Osaka. At this point, Seth and I temporarily parted ways. He went back to Tokyo while I made a stop in Kyoto. While I was there, I made sure to grab lunch at my favorite place,
Bickerty donkey! And in the process, I opted to meet up with my good friend and colleague, Push Dustin. After grabbing lunch together, we decided to hang out for a bit, and he directed me toward the Nintendo Kyoto store, which was not open the last time I visited Japan. So I figured I'd go ahead and check it out for the first time. Alright, well, I'm in Kyoto now. I found Push. And the two of us are gonna walk over to the Nintendo Kyoto store, which is exciting to me because one, I've never been to it, and two, because I've done the Nintendo Tokyo and the Nintendo Osaka store on this very trip, I'm curious to see how different it is, if it is at all. And this time I at least have someone with me, so I'm not just wandering around aimlessly with a camera the entire time. I mean, I will be wandering around aimlessly with a camera, but at least not the entire time. And if someone needs to take a picture of me, hopefully they'll be able to help me.
Yeah, and the rooftop is amazing.
There's a rooftop?
Yeah, for the Kyoto store.
Oh. Well, that's already different. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Rolling. All right, what'd you get? Oh, thank you. Here, 1 second. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's okay.
Alright, well, can we at least see what it is?
It's a Famicom Start Select.
Famicom Start Select, okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll cut now. Ready? What did we get?
Da-da-da.
Nice! Yeah, Start Select. Well, at least now you can start your game. I'll pause it. I wound up buying a couple of items from the Nintendo Kyoto store, as it did have some merch that the Nintendo Tokyo and Nintendo Osaka stores didn't have. After I made my purchase, Push Dustin and I had to part ways. I decided that I would head to the Kyoto Pokemon Center next, and Push Dustin had informed me that there was an underground path that I could take from where I was to get there. He strongly encouraged me to take this path because Nintendo had recently put up a Mario-themed mural underground, and so I opted to take this underground path and locate this mural. The Mario mural was pretty neat. Also, in case you folks don't already know, Japan's underground transit system is so complex that you can literally walk from one station to another completely underground. You don't have to take a subway. It's crazy. And cool. And hey, I certainly didn't mind the walk. In any case, I eventually arrived at the Kyoto Pokemon Center. I was fortunate enough to visit this location back in 2022, so I didn't spend too much time at the store this time around. Also, at this point, this is my, 5th Pokemon Center that I visited on this trip alone, so now I'm mainly just seeing if there's any more exclusive merch at any of these stores. The Kyoto Pokemon Center used to have its own exclusive Pikachu plush, but I guess they were sold out this time around. But even so, I've already purchased enough merch at this point, so it's not like I really need any more. I just wound up taking photos and videos of the store, since it's themed around the second generation of Pokemon games, as the Johto region is based on Kyoto after all, and the second generation is my favorite. After I was done at the store, I debated on whether or not I wanted to stay in Kyoto for the night, or if I wanted to return to Tokyo and spend the night there. Ultimately, I decided that it would be best to return to Tokyo, as I knew I'd have to be there for the coming days anyway, so I may as well ensure that I was there sooner rather than later. Once the day concluded, I checked into a new Appa hotel and I got ready for bed. Oh, and on the way to my hotel, this happened? I don't exactly know what this is, but it happened and I got footage of it. Anyway, I eventually arrived at the Appa Hotel and got ready for bed. Alright, I checked into another hotel in Tokyo and I just walked in the door. Oh my god, I'm so tired. How did I start the day in Osaka? I was at Super Nintendo World yesterday, and I even bothered to walk through Kyoto today. Yeah, it's no wonder I'm tired. So, here's where we're at. My plans got scrambled. Again, that seems to be a recurring theme throughout this trip. So I kind of had to buy a hotel room at the last minute. It's fine. It's the same brand of hotel I was in previously, the Appa Hotel. Different hotel location and therefore different room, but still comfortable all the same. Just a nice little space for me, I suppose. I'm only spending tonight here, and then I think I'm staying in another hotel that's already reserved tomorrow, and then I go home the day after that. So, all sorts of crazy scrambled plans, but the important thing is, I made it out of Osaka, I got to look around Kyoto, I'm safe and comfortable in Tokyo, I'm in a nice hotel, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna sleep, and then I'm gonna check out in the morning and then see what tomorrow's plans are. So, oh, I grow facial hair so quickly for someone who doesn't want facial hair. It is time for me to shave once more. So here's the scoop. Before I went to Osaka and Kyoto, I packed an overnight bag and left the rest of my luggage with Cephazon. And Cephazon and I had different plans for today. So he has all of my stuff because we didn't know I was gonna randomly have to rent out a hotel tonight. So I only have my overnight bag, which only contains 2 changes of clothing. And I've basically gone through them already. However, I did buy a shirt, and I did buy that pair of Yoshi underwear from Super Nintendo World. So it's times like these where I'm glad that places like Super Nintendo World sell changes of underwear. As I said before, I'm an adult. I make my own money and I can do with what I want with my own money. And me deciding to buy underwear at Super Nintendo World and a shirt is gonna come in real clutch in about 30 minutes once I'm done shaving. If this hotel is gonna supply me a razor and shaving cream, I am gonna use it. All right, it's Saturday. Last full day in Japan before I leave. Ugh.
Alright, but at least I'm clean shaven, so I'm almost just ready to go.
I started off the day by visiting one more Pokemon Center location, as it's one that I've never visited previously, the Pokemon Center Tokyo DX store. It's at the top floor of a building, just like all the other Pokemon Center stores, but there's an entry point on the bottom floor of a different building that contains an elevator that takes you straight to the store. This store looks a bit different than the other Pokemon Center stores. Its mascot is Snorlax, and Mew to an extent, I suppose. And it's a futuristic looking store. On top of the cool white aesthetic, it also contains a Pokemon cafe, which I was unable to attend, but the main appeal is that the waiting area contains silhouettes of every Pokemon up to the 6th generation. So that was really neat. And beyond that, there is a mural of screenshots from each of the mainline Pokemon games. So I made sure to get some photos and videos of that as well. I explored the shop quite a bit, but I didn't buy anything. As I previously stated, I had purchased enough merch over the course of the trip, but that thought made me realize that I may have some difficulty in getting all of this merchandise back home with me. So maybe it was better to plan ahead.
So I've purchased so much merchandise since I've started this trip that I had to get a new suitcase. And I figured, well, while I'm at it, I may as well spend $20 extra and get an Eevee themed suitcase. So, you know, if I gotta get something to hold all my merch, that item may as well be merch as well. And this suitcase is even bigger than the one that I had when I initially came here. That's how much merch I bought. All right, the suitcase I brought for coming here, pretty small. It can go in an overhead bin. This is like twice its size. But whatever, I have an Eevee themed suitcase now.
After purchasing the large Eevee-themed suitcase, I wandered around Tokyo for a bit and just took in the sights of the downtown metropolitan area. Eventually, evening rolled around, and I met up with Cephazon again, who then took me to a special industry-exclusive location known as the 84 Cafe. The 84 Cafe is for folks in the gaming industry, and it's invite only. Its location is meant to be somewhat secretive. I was fortunate enough to see this location for the first time back in 2022, so it was nice to be able to return to this location for a second visit. The owner of this cafe is known as Chokon, and he's a former employee of Nintendo that was able to collect all sorts of rare, exclusive video game items, and has had many people from the gaming industry visit his cafe. So he has all sorts of signed pieces of artwork and booklets that are exclusive to his cafe. Nowhere else in the world would you be able to see some of this stuff. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this vlog, I wanted to give him something for his collection as well. I wanted to give him my gold Mario Anniversary pin. Chokon was hesitant to accept it at first, but eventually he did receive the gift, and he now presents it proudly alongside a little Space Needle figure that I also gave him within his cafe. I attended this cafe this time with the Newfangled Games development team, and in the process we were able to have dinner with the voice actor for Kirby, Makiko Omoto. She was an absolute delight to meet, and she gave me her autograph. We also took a group photo together at the end. All in all, it was a pleasant return to the 84 Cafe for me, and being able to have dinner with such a talented development team and with such prominent figures in the gaming industry just made me feel important, or successful, for the lack of a better word. It was also just a nice way to conclude my trip to Japan overall, as tomorrow afternoon I would return to the airport and begin my flight back home to Seattle.
I'll give it a try. Just 200 yen? Or is it just 100 yen? Two? Okay. Alright, let's see what I got. Well, I love it. Oh, does it come with a pen as well? Okay, it's a little hard to see. It says, Sore na. Oh, great. Thank you, Chokon. Well, that's it. It's time for me to go home. Thank you
I'm
for
going
everything.
home too, but you're going to a different country.
Yeah. Well, it's been fun. See you in 2 years?
You know, there's a hill here. I swear he's not this much taller than me.
That's true. There is a hill here, and I'm standing like this so that my bags don't roll away. I gotta lug both of these to the airport. All right. See you in 2 years?
Probably less.
Maybe. I might come back this year.
Donkey
We'll
Kong
see.
opens in less than 2 years, pretty sure.
I might come back sooner. We'll see. But if nothing else, I will see you in 2 years.
At least.
All right. All right. We'll see it.
That's it.
Here, give me one more. Give me like 10 more.
There you go.
Thank you. All right. Have a good one.
And thus, that concludes my 2024 May/June trip to Japan. It was a very spontaneous trip with plans that constantly changed and fluctuated, but despite that, I definitely still had a fun time. And, especially given the circumstances, I think I made the most out of the trip. I got to visit a lot of sites, meet plenty of fun new people, and engage in a lot of new experiences. For my last day in Japan, I gave a quick visit to the Emperor's Palace. I couldn't stay there too long as I needed to catch my flight, but I figured that it just felt appropriate to visit it real quickly before my trip ended. Plus, it was kind of on the way anyway. And also, before I departed for the airport, I saw a Krispy Kreme. So, this Tokyo Krispy Kreme location marked the last meal that I had in Japan before I flew out of the country. It was a very basic meal and wasn't entirely Japanese, but hey, at least it was an enjoyable meal to have before I left. Otherwise, I traveled to the Haneda airport and just hung out there for about an hour or so until it was time to leave. And immediately after leaving, I was already ready to go back. But I'm not entirely sure what else I'd do if I were to return so soon. I did plenty of fun and exciting things in this trip alone, and I've been to Japan 3 times now. While I'm certain that there are plenty of other activities for me to do, I think I did most of the things that would have appealed to me. Hey, I certainly purchased more than enough merchandise, that's for sure. But I guess that's a problem for another time, and frankly, it's a good problem to have. If I could do all of these exciting endeavors on a whim, then surely I can come up with other ventures to take in the future too. And once again, I'm so glad that I went at the time that I did, because it meant that I got to see all of the Paper Mario advertisements everywhere. For now, I hope that my vlog was entertaining to you all. I had an absolute blast in Japan, and I hope that I was able to convey that. On the flip side, this video was a real pain to edit as my computer did not want to cooperate with the footage at all, but hey, at least it's done now. Huzzah! Now I can get back to working on the dozens of other projects that I need to complete. Hopefully next time I choose to record and put together a vlog, it won't be so bothersome to edit, and hopefully it won't take nearly as long to finish it either. That wraps up this vlog of my 3rd trip to Japan, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all in future videos, and if I ever go to Japan again, then I hope that you'll be interested in joining me for whatever adventure that brings. But for now, bye-bye, humans! Whoosh! Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed what you saw, the best ways to support me are to click on the like button down below, and if you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment. Viewer engagement helps my videos perform better, so anything helps. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more fun gameplay videos. I hope to see you all in the future. Bye-bye, humans! Whoosh!